Is coffee bad for you? Does the early bird really get the worm? And is breakfast truly the most important meal of the day? You might think you know the answers to these questions, but does science actually back up what you think? Our next guest has done the research so that you don't have to. Timothy Caulfield has taken a deep dive into the way we make decisions and how we often get them wrong because of misinformation. And he's joining us this morning to shed some light. Timothy, I've got to think the past 4 years for you have made your brain explode given the sort of misinformation that comes at us from all angles. How are you doing?
You're right, Ben. Good morning to you. You're right. It has been a crazy couple of years. I always say it's the era of misinformation, and every year outdoes the year before. Before, and that's why I dedicated the book to the science. The book is, it needs science needs some love.
Now, when we hear information, we tend to selectively hang on to the scary bits. How is fear playing into our decision making? And sometimes we're talking about these small daily decisions that we make.
You're right. Not only is this the era of misinformation, it's also kind of the era of fear, and people leverage fear and misperceptions of risk in order to market stuff, to push ideas and ideology. So in the book, I try to give tools to navigate through the noise, right? To hopefully make your daily decisions a little bit easier. And as you know, the gimmick is it's a typical day, and all the decisions that we make
Yeah.
all day long.
Yeah, well, I listen. I tend to gravitate to the stuff that affects me, especially sleep, for example, specifically getting up early. So, does the early bird really get the worm? We hear these stories about, Fortune 500 CEOs and how they all wake up before the sun rises. Is earlier better the proper mindset?
No. So and you this is bad news for you, right? I mean, I know you have to get up early. And think of The Rock. He's supposed to get up ridiculously early to work out, and it's always been kind of portrayed as this noble thing. So not only is it good for your productivity, allegedly, it's almost like this noble activity that you have to do. And the research really doesn't back that up. You should find your own rhythm. We all have a different rhythm. I'm apparently a moderate morning person, so not a morning TV show host, but maybe a little bit later. Look, I know that everyone has jobs, they have responsibilities, they have kids, and they're going to have to get up. But the bottom line is, don't listen to that noise. Don't feel guilty about finding your own rhythm.
Okay, what about coffee? Because my love and need for coffee is well documented, but we've heard all the stories that it'll dehydrate you, it stunts your growth, you shouldn't drink it after 2 p.m. Brass tacks, what's the truth about coffee?
Drink up, for sure. The evidence there is, it was once bad for you. Now it's starting to be perceived as good for you. The bottom line is it's probably not bad for you and likely to be kind of good for you. So, don't listen to the fear mongering with coffee, thankfully.
Yesterday or a couple of days ago, we had a story in the show about this phone line that you can call up to scream into the void because it'll make people feel better in 2020. I kind of liken that to ranting, to just all of a sudden getting stuff off your chest. Some people say it makes them feel better. Is that true?
No. Okay. So this is kind of a yes no thing. So in the short term, it might make you feel better. In the long term, it doesn't. And this is one of those great culture. I actually had a lot of fun working on this part of the book. This is one of those great cultural myths that is it's been maintained for so long. It's so durable. Pop culture talks about it all the time. But in general, it's like junk food. I say, it's a tasty McRant may make you feel better in the short term. In the long term, it's almost always a bad idea.
Timothy, we all have a short amount of time left, so let's get through these next two really quickly. We've heard that sitting is the new smoking, and standing desks were supposed to solve so many of our problems. Where do you land on standing desks?
The research is actually way messier than it often portrayed in pop culture. There's no magical fix. If you enjoy standing, not a bad idea. Too much sitting isn't great, but this isn't going to solve our complex problem of sedentary behavior.
Finally, and my friend Glenn Zuyev, if he's watching, is going to appreciate this one. You need 8 glasses of water a day. You have to stay hydrated. He's always told me that that's complete bunk because we get all the water we need from the food that we're eating. What do you say?
Your buddy's right. Your buddy's right. Yeah, this is a great myth to it. And again, another really durable myth. You know, when you drink, Ben, you drink when you're thirsty. That's when you drink.
Yeah.
Thank you, evolution.
Yeah, it was a marketing ploy to change from thirsty to hydrating. We got to hydrate all the time. I mean, anyway, Timothy, thank you so much. One of the most useful books that people will pick up this year. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me on, Ben.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.